So I'm here today. It's a beautiful late October afternoon and I'm at the base of Mt.Shasta in Northern California. And I could have picked a better spot to do this video, but this had the most unspoilt views. I'm at a park and there's lots of soccer posts and goals and fences, so you just have to put up with me squinting a lot. So the purpose of this video today is to touch a little bit on perspective and being able to observe ourselves from outside ourselves. And I know that that can sound strange, but it's a technique that I use often, and I have used pretty much throughout my whole life, to gain a deeper understanding to who I am in my authentic self and how I communicate and best express myself with authenticity. And just as a little bit of a backstory, the first time I remember having, quote, an out-of-body experience, I think I was about 11 years old, and I was in a pretty full-on space in my life. Just my parents were separated and it was quite intense. Anyway, so I was watching TV and I remember looking down at myself watching television on the couch and just gone, whoa, you know, and having this kind of split-second realization of what was actually transpiring in that event and how profound it was for a child to be experiencing that. Fast forward, I'm now 28 years old, and this is a tool or a gift that was shown to me that I've cultivated over many, many years to serve a purpose that allows me to just step back a little bit and just to navigate the realms of communication in the best way that I can without reacting straight away, but just to step back and be witness and allow things to unfurl. And there's beauty in this because it allows you to not get trapped up in the story or in the mind, that front part, the neocortex, that part that's so analytical in nature, that needs to label and identify and put facts and figures to everything to try and make sense and meaning to this world that's around us. But when you step back or just take a breath, take a moment to be, it allows you to drop down into your heart space. And from there, the magic that unfurls it's like a timeless realm. It's like you step into that magic space and everything's happening around. You could be in the most chaotic circumstance, but there's this stillness there. And it allows you just to observe people's behaviors, body language, speech, whether people are intoxicated or whatever. You can just navigate the energy a lot more clearly. But it takes a lot of discipline to be able to just bring it back in. And I like the analogy of the mountain. Almost in a sense, if the mountain represents our peak self or our peak dreaming or our goals, then the aim is to reach the summit for clarity, for perspective. So once we're at the top of the mountain, we then can see how far we've traveled to reach that and feel worthy of being up there, to be able to look down, to see the journey that we've taken, no matter how undulating or challenging that it's been. Might have been a clear path, just to be able to see the landscape before us and just to bear witness to the journey, to be there in that moment. And the other beautiful point about being at that higher place is it allows different perspectives or different angles to look at things. You know, I remember, I don't know when it was, but someone had said something along the lines of, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm running around in circles. And that's okay to run around in circles if it's over a particular lesson that you need to learn, because you get a different perspective. You can look at it from this angle and this angle and this angle. And it's the same sense that being on the peak of the mountain is you get a better understanding of things outside yourself. You know, you wouldn't be able to perceive what's over this hill to my right unless you're at the top, being able to get a deeper perspective and understanding of what's beyond the horizon, what's beyond the threshold, and pushing through those boundaries. In the realms of being able to look at ourselves, that can be quite tricky, because all too often it's so much easier to look at other people and to lay judgments on other people when we think we know what's best for them. When the tricky part and the very challenging part is to actually look within and look at yourself first before you project outwards. And sometimes the easiest way to do that, although it's challenging to start with, is to step back and let go. In the sense, you're going to have an ego crisis or an identity crisis. An ego death is to step back from who you think you are, or who you've established yourself to be in the community, what name badge you wear, what job title you have. It's just to step back away from all that facade and step back and just start to watch yourself, your language, just patterns that you might see yourself coming across time and time again. People that you innately draw towards yourself, people that you aspire to be like, or people that you're either intimidated by or, you know, don't quite sit right with. Just pull it back, and just observe and just witness. All too often we create unnecessary drama in our lives because we're like a loaded gun ready to fire, you know. We're like so overly stimulated in this time. There's just like, we're ready to just go off because there's this pressure building up. So stepping back, taking a breather, just allows us to see what really is and what we're constructing with our mind. And that could be based upon a myriad of circumstances, whether it's from lack of sleep, or, you know, you could be in a realm of grief and then looking through the eyes or the veil of grief and projecting outward. You could be experiencing this lack of self-worth and then projecting that outwards as well. So when we bring it in, take a deep breath, remove all labels and just feel into what's actually transpiring in that time and space. And a lot of the time, hello bumblebee, bee, there you go. Thank you. A lot of the time, everything just melts away. You step back into that and to find out what's actually happening, what energetic exchange is taking place. And usually it's not what you think it is. And what can happen is when you step back into that clear space, into that heart space, you'll find that there's no drama there at all. So it's coming back into the magic of the moment, to be, just simply be. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to fully engage. Just take a moment to be, to sit back, to be on your mountain peak, to find clarity and that connection to the heavens and to earth, in between worlds, what this physical dimension is, in my opinion. You might not agree with that. But just take time to drop into your heart space, to open, relax, and be on this place. And you'll also find, being in this place, we can look at our goals as a challenge, but we'll also be able to see the clear way on the path with heart, journeying. Blessings, and I shall be tapping in next week. All my love. If you'd like to know more, I've got a website in its infancy at the moment. It's www.donnaraymond.com.au, and I've got a blog there, and yeah, we'll just see how far this goes. And if you'd like me to open up to any topics to discuss I'm just going to wing it and see what happens. See what magic we can all create together. So I'm really looking forward to collaborating with people and sharing the magic with the world, sharing some clarity and some meaning and some sense of wonder and magic and wisdom. Mwah.